What's up guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys 4 rather uncommon kart racing games for the PlayStation 1, and I'll tell you a bit about them. I am going to do a brief overview on each game, and then let you guys enjoy the footage. One thing I noticed while playing those games back to back for this video, is that they all have something unique about them, something that differentiates them from one another. Even though they can all be considered kart races, they are each quite unique. Our first game is Street Racer. This game originally came out on the 16-bit consoles, the SNES and the Mega Drive, where it used Mode 7 and Mode 7-like graphics on both. However, on the PlayStation, it received an overhaul, and now the tracks are polygonal, with the karts and objects on the track still being represented as sprites. All 4 of the games shown in this video are the same in this aspect. They each use a mixture of polygons, with an addition of quite a few sprites that represent different objects in the game. Street Racer is a fun kart game. All its courses are very short and curvy, so you're constantly turning. It feels a bit like you're drawing 8s all the time with your kart. It has 8 characters to choose from, each with different special powers. You can use the bumper buttons to hit your opponents to the left or the right, just like in Road Rush. The courses are supposed to represent where each of the game's selectable characters come from, like for example Frankenstein's monsters tracks are spooky and horror inspired. The unique thing about Street Racer is that finishing first does not necessarily mean you get the most points on the leaderboard, as you can score additional points, for example by hitting your opponents or having the fastest lap out of all the contestants. So you could come second at the end of the race, but still be first on the leaderboard if you gain enough extra points. I'll leave you guys with the rest of the footage before we move on to the next game. This is Scars. It's a kart racer where each of the karts represents a different animal. It feels a bit like an off-road kart racer, if you can call it that, because all of the tracks are quite bumpy and the vehicles behave a bit like quad bikes. One of the unique features of Scars is that every vehicle can jump, so you can avoid obstacles and enemy traps by jumping over them. Another unique thing that caught my attention in the game is the time bomb weapon, which when collected starts counting down. You can pass it to one of your opponents, but they can also pass it back to you, so you have to make sure it's not with you when the timer runs out. The next game we're going to look at after this footage is going to be Toon Grand Prix 2. This is Toon Racing 2. This game is the most traditional in terms of what you might call a kart racer. I think it borrows heavily from Mario Kart. The mechanic that differs slightly, but not a whole lot from Mario Kart, is the way you obtain and use pickups. You have to drive over a money sign, and each sign gives you a point, for which you can purchase a power-up on the fly while driving. Once you do, a Wheel of Fortune spins, and whatever power-up it stops on is the one you can use. Toon Racing 2, though maybe not as unique as some other ones in this video, is still a really fun game. One interesting fact about Toon Racing is that it was made by the studio that later became Polyphony Digital, the makers of Gran Turismo. Our last game in this video will be Wrecking Crew. Stay tuned, guys.
Dynamite! Fireball! Turbo! Fireball! Oil can! Final lap! Fireball! 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 Turbo! Fireball! Fireball!
Wrecking Crew is unique, but I don't think I can recommend it. Like Street Racer, it relies a lot on constant turning, and like in Street Racer, you can use the bumpers to attack whoever's on your left or right. However, its tracks are very narrow, and with there being another turn around every corner, I found myself constantly bumping into things and getting stuck. What doesn't help is the draw distance that is very short, so things pop up right in front of you. So unless you have the tracks memorized, there is no way you can make some turns. On top of that, the controls are unresponsive. Wrecking Crew also came out on the PC, and even though I don't have that version, I think the game could be much more playable with smooth frame rate and less popping. As you can see from the footage, Wrecking Crew looks rather unique, and it's a shame technical limitations hold it back on the PlayStation 1. It's nearly the end of the video, guys. I'm going to let the race play out to the end. Please leave any comments you might have below. All the best, and I'll see you in the next one.